moving furniture upstairs? Okay, so hi, Live Melody here, and welcome to Fire Emblem Theories. Today's child unit that we will be looking who is potentially their real father is Brady! And I probably sound way more excited than I should be because it's Brady. Anyway, Brady is the child of Maribelle. Honestly, I don't know how I personally feel about Brady when I first saw him. Hell, I'm not even sure now. But I know I wasn't happy when I had another healer to train who couldn't fight. Okay. Calming down. Okay, so anyway, the list of men that Maribelle can marry are as follows: Frederick, Virion, Stahl, Vike, Keelum, Donald, Lonku, Rickon, Gaius, Gregor, Libra, Henry, and Chrom. Let's get our 3 already married bachelors. Not really bachelors, but you know what I mean. So, Henry, Virion, Donald are out already because we have singled them out on the spot. Now, Brady, his hair is blonde, though it seems to be maybe a little bit darker than his mother's, but that might just be due to the lighting in the artwork. I guess. So, since he's blonde, as usual, dark-haired people are out. So, bye-bye Frederick, Stahl, Keelum, and Lonku. This leaves us with Vike, Rick, and Gaius, Gregor, Libra, and Chrom. From this point, each of these will more than likely give us a blonde Brady. In real-life genetics, that is. Fire Emblem can have a whole different way the genetics work, but we're sticking with real life. Kinda. But the only way to narrow this down is to look at Brady's classes. Brady starts with the priest class and has both Cavalier and Mage after that. Now, Maribelle has Troubadour, Mage, and Pegasus Knight. Both Troubadour and Pegasus Knight are exclusive classes to Female and Awakening, so the fact Brady got Mage makes sense. However, so does Priest, as we can say, it can be a counterpart to a healer, and getting Cavalier matches its mother's good skills with riding a horse and fighting on horseback. Now, let's take a look at the guys. Vike has Fighter, Thief, and Barbarian. Rickon has Mage, Cavalier, and Archer. Gaius has Thief, Myrmidon, and Fighter. Gregor has Mercenary, Barbarian, and Myrmidon. Libra has Priest, Mage, and Dark Mage. And Chrom has Lord, Cavalier, and Archer. Well, off the bat, we can say that Vike, Gaius, and Gregor are out, leaving us with Rickon, Libra, and Chrom. Chrom shares Cavalier and Chrom with Brady, Rickon shares Mage and Cavalier with Brady, and Libra shares Priest and Mage with Brady. Genetically, any of these guys could be Brady's dad. So we either look at Brady's stats, how their supports add up with either Brady or Maribelle, or imagine how Brady was raised like we did with Inigo. I mean, what's a theory without theorizing anyway? Looking at both Brady and Maribelle's stats, we see that they are both great at magic and luck. Brady, however, is better in strength, which means he's better physically than Maribelle, which would explain why Brady has better defense. If that's the case, I say Rickon is out. Even if you argue that he is stronger as a Dark Knight, he more than likely would stay a Mage and then a Sage due to, well, he's actually really good with magic. On par with Maribelle, in fact. But dare I say, Rickon doesn't look a bit good with actual physical held weapons. He's not visibly muscular in any way, and sure, you can't see any part of his body, but it takes a lot of strength to lift and swing an axe. And Brady is more than likely either about as tall or a bit taller than Maribelle, and Rickon is about as short as I am. And now, we're down to Chrom and Libra. But first, let me point out something. Maribelle, and an extent Brady supports, all have to do with tea in some way. With the exception of Libra, I'm pretty sure almost all of them start with tea or have tea at some point. I mean, I personally like peach tea, but does there have to be so much tea? I know they're nobles, but god damn it. Too much tea. Too much involvement of tea. Damn it, Mary. Looking at Chrom and Maribelle supports and saying this out right now, I don't see these two together as a couple, but for theory's sake, I have to put my feelings aside. For now. I'm putting them aside for now. Okay. Well, the support between these two is basically Maribel trying to make sure Chrom isn't stressing himself out with the war, making sure he has everything he needs, including making sure to get any supplies for the army, or if Chrom is eating anything, stuff like that. After all, he is a prince who, princes are typically served head to toe by servants, so even though Maribel is the daughter of a duke, I'm not sure what title that gives her, but I suppose she would be considered as a noble, but holds Chrom on a higher pedestal than her. And it kind of makes sense because he's a prince and she's not a prince or a princess. She's the daughter of a duke, whatever. Anyway. But either way, you would think that a typical noble woman would have their servants, do what she wants, or in case do what other people need her to do physically, a bossy person, I suppose. But in this case, Maribel doesn't do that. She actually does physically do everything herself, which is kind of a new thing for me. I don't think I've seen that before, where an actual noble woman would actually do stuff herself instead of telling her servants to do it. If I have thought of someone, it'd probably be on screen, but I can't think of anyone, so... So she does this so much, even Chrom himself tells Maribel to take a break, to not do so much for him. But it's not like her kindness is only for Chrom. From her B support, we know she looks out for Lisa, and of course, her support with Lisa also reveals a whole lot of stuff, including Maribel's terrible jokes that just have the wrong timing that otherwise would probably be brilliant. And also, sorry if I say Lisa instead of Lissa. I know it's Lissa, but when I first started Awakening, I said Lisa. I read it as Lisa instead of Lissa. I know it's Lissa, and I'm sorry if I get that wrong, okay? Lissa! I will learn. It's just... vocabulary hates me. On with this. So she's quite literally Lissa's best friend. They have tea time together and a whole bunch of stuff. They probably train together. And in this B support, she's actually looking at every single guy that wants to be with Lissa, or that she hangs around with, or that wants to come into her life in one way or another. And possibly more than likely doing what I can assume is background checks. You don't want a stranger dating a royal with no knowledge of their history. Like a certain white-haired tactician. Anyway, she's just making sure Lissa is safe. So Chrom is a little put off at Maribel looking at, I suppose, either friends or suitors. Take your pick, everyone. But he's at least grateful she's looking after Lissa too. In the A support, and I'm assuming this either happens after the chapter you get Maribel and Rickon, or if not, she got captured by Plesia twice, somehow. But Chrom was upset that Maribel gave herself up to protect Chrom and his family. He's grateful for that act of bravery, but not so keen on what might have happened if the shepherds weren't there. He'd rather have them all fight inequality than everyone sacrificing themselves for him. Let's not think about the one chapter, shall we? And as for the S support, okay, I'm just gonna flat out read this. Oh god, the S support is a bit out of character of Maribel. At least to me, it seems like it is, and also quite possibly out of character for Chrom. So the gist of it is, they're having tea and Maribel accidentally slips in conversation about maybe liking Chrom, freaking out about it, and then confessing to him, saying it's lifted the stress off her shoulders after doing so, in which after Chrom confesses to her, saying he liked her since they were young and asked to marry her and gave her the ring his parents made for him when he was born. I'm sure you can tell I'm not that fond of this pairing at all. In all honesty, to me, Maribel is a lot more like a work wife than a wife. at least in the terms to Chrom. I mean, I can't be the only one who really sees her more as a work wife, right? I mean, it's just... It just makes sense in my head. And now let us move on with Maribelle and Libra's support. I can see this couple happening more than Maribelle and Chrom. Now, wait a minute. Maribelle? How can you see Libra and I together, but not Chrom? Well, if you would let me get through this, I will. And you're not just taking one side? Mary? Brady is probably my least favorite child. Not because he's bad, but because he's forgettable. Now, let me complete this theory! Very well. But know that I'm watching what you say. Oh god. And now I have a fear of the fourth wall breaking a few more times in this series. Oh boy. Anyway, as I was saying before being interrupted by Mary, the whole heart of this series of support is Maribelle showing how she wants to stand up for people's rights. She shows her more stubborn, ruthless side. She points out your mistakes if you dare to trouble people she cares about, like with Libra, when a drunk group of men mistaken Libra for a woman but was saved by Maribelle when she scolded them. A few days later, she's reading about a court case that had happened, about a kid kicked out by her parents, hungry, and stole from a noble. She's actually not fond of the punishment when she finds another case, but in this instance, a noble stealing from the poor and gets off with a lighter sentence. Maribelle, though from a rich family, is absolutely disgusted by this fact and wants everyone to be treated as equals, despite wealth. Libra is surprised, yes, but he likes the fact Maribelle isn't like other nobles, so to speak. That she's fair. And even after that, in the A support, Maribelle said that after the war, she's going to start another war by herself about equal rights for everyone in Elise, Ferox, and the whole damn world. Libra says it isn't an easy task, but Maribelle, as stubborn as she is, says she knows but won't give up because Libra actually inspired her after saying she was his white knight after saving him the other day from the drunkards. And their S support ties this whole support nicely. Libra wants to know if Maribelle really wants to go on this crusade. Saying she does only leads to Libra wanting to marry Maribelle, and he asks her. However, for a short while, she thinks it's a joke. That he couldn't talk her out of her stubbornness, so marrying him will instead keep her home-ridden. But Libra clarifies his true intentions by showing her a ring. Libra has fallen in love with Maribelle after saying all these things about other people. That she is actually quite kind and will get things done for the right reasons. She says her own stubbornness is uncharming, but for Libra, it's the best aspect of her personality as a whole. Oh god, that paragraph was so long, I'm out of breath. But anyway, do you see where I'm going with this? Brady's father's more than likely Libra. Even if we looked at their conversation, Libra may be a tad bit out of character, but probably because 1, he's still getting used to the idea of being a father, and 2, knowing full well Maribelle would try something with Brady, but not being a complete jerk about it. She does it so they would spend more time together. Maribelle probably knew Libra wanted to get to know his son better, and Brady, having seen his parents died, and knowing he isn't Libra's real son in that timeline, really is just a big softie, only coming off as scary to others because it was a defense mechanism he put up after his parents died. He just wanted to do what he can for them because if he ever goes back to the future, he knows he probably won't be able to return back and wants to make the most of his time with his parents and especially his father. So there we have it. Libra is Brady's father. At least that's what this theory says. To each his own. And let's summon the shipyard wheel and see who's the next theory child. Totally wasn't gonna say victim. Noir. Fuck. The devil child. Quite literally. Let's just hope there's no fourth wall breaks during her episode, people. But, let's find who has the guts to marry Tharja. If you enjoy this theory, please look at the other theories that I have done so far, or check out my channel for other content like song covers from either anime or video games. Patreon is always an option to support me, and if you do, maybe you can pick out the next video I create. Also, please check out the audio series Ties of Fate on HarmonyNet Studio channel, which has been inspired by many different works of fiction, including Fire Emblem. I'll see you guys next time and pray that Noir or Tharja don't kill me. Bye!